Everyone is responsible for reporting the espionage. To conceal it is also a crime. The propaganda runs throughout the entire movie that haunts me. When I try to imagine being mind-controlled on a daily basis, that I lose a sense of self-identity. It's a scary thought. But it's what happened to those people. When I watched the movie Detention, I was not scared by the supernatural elements of the film. The monsters, the ghosts, the eerie abandoned school setting. None of that. I was more terrified by the history behind the story. The horrendous truth that people were executed by carrying books that contained content opposed to the political ideology of the Nationalist Party. This is the story about the thirst for freedom. The fact that freedom is not free and has to be traded with the blood of the innocent. This is the story of the lives of hundreds of thousands of people whose lives are like the daffodil flowers that live simply, pay no attention to what people think, as long as someone understands them. This is the story about desperation for knowledge, for an ideal that people risk their lives for. Detention was split into 3 parts: the nightmare, the whistleblower, and the ones who live, through which the tragic fate of the secret book club is unfolded in the illusional, nightmarish setting of the school. To me, Detention was like the rewritten history that was collected by the fragmented pieces of memories and facts by the successors. That's why the film could be criticized for its fractured and confusing plotline. I understand the unconventional storytelling technique of the film might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I respect the intentional decision of maintaining the original nature of the popular game that it adapted from. The complexity of the backstories of each character reminds me that each of these people were just like us, as real and as emotional as we all are. The subtle glance of Wei Chengting towards his crush Fang Ruixing that leads to his action of giving her the book that cost the lives of his instructor and his friends. Fang Ruixing and her broken family that caused her depression, that the only person that she could lean on was Counselor Chang, the person that she fell in love with, a pure and innocent love that she develops towards him. The way he cares about her, the pain he has to go through to choose the life of book club members over her misunderstanding and jealousy towards Miss Ying that leads to her revengeful action, that little that she knows would cost lives of Counselor Chang and book club members. Is Fang Ruixing to blame for the lives of them? Perhaps what Counselor Chang said exactly captures how I feel about her. She sure made a mistake, but she didn't kill them. She was just used as a tool by the political party. Either Wei Chengting or Fang Ruixing is to blame. The party understands human weakness to use people as their puppets to kill each other. People might be executed, but their legacy will live on as long as someone remembers, just like the daffodil flowers. It's so touching to see the passion that these students and teachers have for the banned knowledge that resonates with them. Tagore's poem, The Symbol of Anguish, Ivan Turgenev's Father and Son. The leisure of copying these books words for words show how much they care and cherish these books. Why do these books have to be banned? Why do people's thoughts have to be formulated as identical to each other? The horrifying scenes of executing the students were not merely a scene from a horror movie. They are the history to remember, to remind us that freedom that we have is not free and have to be paid by the priceless cost of someone else's lives. The last chapter of the film, The Ones Who Live, is the painful yet meaningful ending for all of us. We all shall live and pass on the legacy of the dead. That's what makes Detention impactful to audience by just being its imperfect self. Because the history is not perfect.